Hi guys, I'm Charlie, or Charlie Book Fanatic, and today is going to be a bit of a different video. It's going to be a bookish video, but it's going to be pretty personal too. Today I'm going to talk to you about my favorite bookish quotes. So I'm going to tell you my favorite quotes, and I'm going to tell you why I love them so much. The first two quotes are from Rowell's book Attachments. The first quote is obviously from Attachments, but it is, "I want someone whose heart is big enough to hold me." And I think everyone feels that way sometimes, like they are unlovable or something, and they just want someone who can love them. And the second quote is going to be really personal. It's also from Attachments, and it's pretty long, so I'll just read it from my laptop. "I couldn't love anyone more than I do you. It would kill me. And I couldn't love anyone less, because it would always feel like less. Even if I loved some other girl, that's all I would ever think about. The difference between loving her and loving you." And basically, this is the way I feel about my ex-boyfriend. I still do, and I have always felt like that. So my ex-boyfriend and I have been on and off for 2 years, something like that, and I feel like that. Like, I couldn't love anyone more than I love him, and I couldn't love anyone less, because it would always feel like less, like it says in the quote. So yeah, that goes pretty personal for me. I think that is what's really beautiful about these quotes, because they're not just quotes, they're like life mantras. They're like something you can deeply recognize yourself in, and at least I do. I really recognize myself in some of these quotes, and that's what I like so much about them. Oh my god, I'm so sorry guys, I just noticed the chair in the background with all the clothes, so I have put it somewhere else. Again, I'm sorry. The next quote is from All the Truth That's in Me by Julie Berry. "The people you save won't celebrate you. They will gather the wood and cheer while you burn." I feel like that is really true, because some people will take you for granted and are not grateful for the things you do for them, and they will just eventually stab you in the back. Like, you have those people in your life. Everyone has those people in their lives. Like, they just stab you in the back after everything you've done for them. Next two quotes are from my favorite book of all time, which is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. The first one is my ultimate favorite quote, and that is, "You're all the colors in one at full brightness." I honestly don't know why I like this quote so much. I think it is because of the context of the book. You really have to read the book to get the quote. But it's like, when you're in love with that one person, they're just everything to you, basically. They are all the colors in one. Like, they're all you see. And I believe that is supposed to be love, and it's just beautifully summed up in one quote. The second quote is something way more personal again, and I will just read it to you. "It's my experience that people are a lot more sympathetic if they can see you hurting, and for the millionth time in my life, I wish for measles, or smallpox, or some other easily understood disease, just to make it easier on me, and also on them." I've been sick for quite a while. Not anymore, but I was last year and the year before that, and I didn't feel well at all. And basically, it's really hard to explain to people how you're feeling, because my teachers at school, who hadn't dealt with something like depression, didn't know how to deal with it at that moment in a student, basically. And they didn't know I was hurting. They didn't get it. They didn't get I didn't want to do homework, and it was not because I didn't want to, but because I couldn't. And I think it's really hard for all the people around you to understand if they haven't dealt with depression before, or haven't felt it like that. Depression is something really hard to deal with, and it's even harder if you're the one having to live with it. The second quote is from The Sky is Everywhere by Jenny Nelson, and it's such a beautiful quote, and it is, "I wish my shadow would get up and walk beside me." And that is so beautiful. I had it in my WhatsApp status for a while, because I honestly feel that way sometimes. Like, I feel so alone that I just want my shadow to get up and walk beside me and be my friend, and it's just a really lovely quote for loneliness. The following quote is from Aristotle and Dante Discovered the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Elias Sáenz, and it is, "It was good to laugh. I wanted to laugh and laugh and laugh until I laughed myself into becoming someone else." And that is something with depression again. Like, I didn't feel I wanted to be myself anymore, and I just wanted to laugh it all away, and become someone else, become someone who didn't feel that certain way. Next one is from The Disreputable History of Frankie Landau-Banks by Lockhart, which is also one of my favourite books. "Matthew had called her harmless, and being with him made Frankie feel squashed into a box where she was expected to be sweet and sensitive, but not oversensitive, a box for young and pretty girls who were not as bright or as powerful as their boyfriends, a box for people who were not forces to be reckoned with." Frankie wanted to be a force, and that is not basically something I necessarily feel, but it's such a beautiful quote from the book, and I really love The Disreputable History of Frankie Landau-Banks, and I thought that was a really pretty quote. The next quote is from My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Warga. Anyone who has actually been that sad can tell you that there is nothing beautiful or literary or mysterious about depression. I feel like that's so true. Like, some books picture depression as something beautiful, and depression is absolutely not beautiful. You can write beautiful books about it, but depression is not something to call beautiful, because it's not. It's something that makes you sad, and if you have been as sad as that, you wouldn't want to be anymore, and you wouldn't call it beautiful because it wrecks you from the inside. The next one is also from a book by Lockhart, and it is We Were Liars. I just got this in the post because it was one of my favorite books, and I just want to have a copy on my shelf. But the quote is, "The universe is seeming really huge right now. I need something to hold on to." And that is what I feel like sometimes too, that I lose every structure in my life and just the vision I have for my future, and sometimes I just can't deal with the universe, and I think a lot of people have that. Like, I just can't deal with everything that's going on at that moment, and I don't think that is anything to be found weird. It's just life. This quote is from Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. "The more you know who you are and what you want, the less you let things upset you." And I feel like that is especially true for me right now. I feel like I'm so confident and self-assured that I don't let things as easily upset me, because I know what I want and I know who I am, and I don't care about things as much as I used to. Next book is Fangirl by Rowell. To really be a nerd, she decided you have to prefer a fictional world to the real one. Basically, I'm a nerd. And the last quote is from While You Broke Up by Daniel Handler, and this one is so beautiful, and I'm not even going to explain why I love this quote so much. It's a long quote, and it describes everything in itself, basically. So here we go. "Ed, it was everything. Those nights on the phone. Everything we said until late became later, and then later, and very late, and finally to go to bed with my ear warm and worn and red from holding the phone close, so as not to miss a word of what it was, because who cared how tired I was in the humdrum slave drive of our days, without each other? I'd ruin any day, all my days for those long nights with you, and I did. But that's why right there it was doomed. We couldn't only have the magic nights buzzing through the wires. We had to have the days too, the bright, impatient days spoiling everything with their unavoidable schedules, the mandatory times that don't overlap, their loyal friends who don't get along, the unforgiven travesties torn from the wall, no matter what promises are uttered past midnight. And that's why we broke up." So, those are my favorite book quotes. This is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below what you think about my favorite quotes. What are your favorite book quotes? Let me know. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.